You know, I feel bad. Honestly. I feel like I should have reviewed it. But this is why I'm here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my first ever Dragon Ball Super discussion video. Now, I don't rarely do these. This is actually my first one I've done. But I feel like something is important here. I feel like, you know, if I miss an episode, or if I don't review it on the channel, I'll talk about a highlight or something that was, you know, intriguing. Now, in the 1 hour special of Dragon Ball Super, possibly nearly everything on there was intriguing. Goku versus Jiren. Goku gets this Ultra Instinct form. How he gets it is by he absorbs a Spirit Bomb. And how the form looks is great. But as much as those scenes and those moments were really good, I am going to be talking specifically about the end of Dragon Ball Super of the 1 hour special, which is technically episode 110, the final bit at the end. The final bit at the end, we see Goku defeated, battered. He's not technically defeated, but he's down and he's battered from his battle with Jiren. Vegeta asks him, "How did you get this form?" And Goku says, "I don't know. I don't know." So Vegeta says, "Right, we'll talk later. You just rest for a bit." And then all of a sudden, Goku's gone. All of a sudden, he is gone. Probably instant transmission so he can get himself away. Probably used instant transmission so he could get himself away. So that way no one could bug him when he was recovering. And then the narrator starts talking at the end about the closing moments. And as the scene continues to roll, we see Goku lying on the floor. And we see a purple light. A purple flash of light surrounding the background. And we see Frieza doing this to Goku. He has his hand out with energy in his hand, with an evil grin. And he says, "Boy, doesn't this bring back memories after what happened on planet Namek?" And then the scene ends with Frieza with a very scary looking smile on his face. And that is how the episode 110 ended. Alright, Patrick, so what are you trying to say here? What is this discussion video about? Well, this discussion video is about what's going on with Frieza. Why has all of a sudden, what is his motivation in the Tournament of Power? That is basically what I'm here to try and explain. Now, I'm not like guys like Geekdom 101. I am not like Aquaman or Detective Q. I'm not like all those smart Dragon Ball-esque fans that seem to know a lot of the motivations of the characters. So I'm going to try my best to be just like those guys and nail down everything and try and think of a way of my thoughts on that scene. But first off, when I first saw that scene, I was very, very shocked and surprised because I made a prediction in this Tournament of Power. The prediction I made is that Frieza will not help Goku. I said Frieza wouldn't give two shits about Goku, but he does. For some reason, he does care. All of a sudden, he wants to help him. But I believe that Ultra Instinct transformation sparked Frieza's interest. Frieza isn't technically a good guy here. Frieza, it feels like he's slowly starting to turn onto the good side. But you can't really tell if he is. Because what if Frieza only wants to help Goku now, and then once the Tournament of Power is done, what if he just decides to go rogue after that? But I feel like he doesn't want to go rogue anymore. Now, I know Akira Toriyama, the main writer of Dragon Ball Super, I have heard this many times from Geekdom and a couple of other guys, that they have stated that Akira Toriyama doesn't want Frieza to be a bad guy anymore. He feels like Frieza's days as a main villain or as the number one heel in Dragon Ball, he feels like those days are coming to an end. He feels like he doesn't need Frieza to be in that position anymore. And I can relate to that. I can agree to that. Frieza, but it feels weird though. It feels weird that someone like Frieza, who is a fan favorite to Akira Toriyama, Frieza's like Akira Toriyama's favorite creation. Like, he was the one that drew him. He was the one that drew him, and all that. People want to see Cell again, but the only reason why Cell will never come back in Dragon Ball is because Akira Toriyama just hated Cell. He just hated Cell. He didn't like drawing him. He thought he was really hard. He just wanted the androids to be the main androids of the android story, but they wanted to make things interesting. So, I don't know. Frieza changing is an odd thing to say. It feels really odd. That's like, what would be a good thing to reference? Frieza, the ultimate heel turning face. That's like having possibly someone from WWE who was one of the most ultimate heels, who was always a heel, and he turns face. Maybe like someone like, I don't know, Braun Strowman, or I don't know. I can't really think. But do you know what I'm getting at? The ultimate heel starts to become a good guy. And that's what I feel like with Frieza. Like, Frieza, he's the ultimate heel. He was like the number one heel. In Dragon Ball, Piccolo was the ultimate heel. King Piccolo was the ultimate heel. Then it was Piccolo Jr., the Piccolo we know now. He was a heel. Then came along Raditz, Goku's brother. He was a heel. Then Vegeta. Vegeta was a heel. Nappa was a heel. Vegeta eventually turned face, but Vegeta was still a heel. Then it was Frieza. And then it was Cell. And then it's Boo. But Frieza has been the ultimate heel since then. Cell was the ultimate heel too. Cell was a very good one as well. bad guy. Now, I know I'm referencing WWE, but you know what I mean. Bad guy, heel, that's what heel is, a bad guy. So, I think Frieza and Cell were overall the biggest and baddest heels in Dragon Ball. And then came along GT, which I kind of don't really care for GT. Even though some people have said GT is bad, I feel like some of the fight scenes in GT were good, but I can understand why people just didn't like GT as a whole. So here's the thing. But if you don't count GT and go straight to Super, Beerus wasn't technically. Could we consider Beerus as a heel? We couldn't really call Beerus a bad guy. He was just a god of destruction. That's just all he was. It's very difficult to say if he was a bad guy or not, but he's not really a bad guy. Look at him now. He's the god of Universe 7. He really respects Goku. So, it's kind of hard to predict things now. But Beerus, he wasn't a heel. Frieza came back. The Ultimate Heel came back. He got wiped out. Then in Universe 6, the Universe 6 story, there wasn't really a bad guy there. Hit was an assassin. He wasn't technically a heel. He wasn't technically a bad guy. He was just fighting for his universe so then he could win a prize from Universe 6. That was the reason why he was in that tournament. And then we get double dose of heels. We get Zamasu and Goku Black, which Goku Black is Zamasu from another universe or another timeline. So we get two Zamasus, which one is Goku Black and Zamasu. We got double dose of two heels there, and now we're in the Tournament of Power, and it feels like Jiren the Grey, is a bad guy. I know some people might not think Jiren the Grey is a bad guy, but the way they've built this guy up, and the way he's portrayed himself, he feels like a bad guy. He feels like a bad guy. He looks like a bad guy, he feels like a bad guy, and he acts like a bad guy. But, you know, he's a part of the Pride Troopers, which some people think those are Universe 11 version of the Ginyu Force, when Frieza had the Ginyu Force. But, here's the thing, the Ginyu Force were bad guys. The Pride Troopers in Universe 11 are superheroes. That's what they portray themselves as, superheroes that protect Universe 11 from evil. Justice, which is basically what they are. It feels odd, but I feel like Jiren is getting portrayed as a bad guy. But, let's get back to the topic in hand, that could we see Frieza, the ultimate heel, turn good? I will have to say maybe, because I don't see Frieza full on turning good face, I should say. I don't see Frieza full on turning into a good guy, because some people might say, oh, if he turns into a good guy, everything about Frieza's character is going to get ruined. He can't be an asshole anymore. He can't be the Frieza that we all know and love. Well, he still technically can, even as a good guy, because you got to look at Vegeta. Even when Vegeta turned good, he still had an attitude. He still had an ego problem. Vegeta was still technically an egotistical Saiyan. That's what he was. He was egotistical. He was evil. He just didn't really care about anybody. Frieza could still portray like a Vegeta, like he might have respect for people like Goku and Gohan, and he might show some respect, but Frieza's main goal is to become a god. That is Frieza's target. That is Frieza's goal, to become a god. I think it's a god of destruction he's trying to become. He wants to get in the line of god of destruction. That is where Frieza wants to be. He is trying to take Beerus's position as god of destruction. That is what Frieza's trying to do. He's trying to take Beerus's place as god of destruction. So, it's hard to say if Frieza's going to be a good guy. Because if he's trying to take Beerus's place as god of destruction, that doesn't make you a good guy. That makes you a bad guy. Because Beerus is technically a good guy. Beerus is technically a god. Because Beerus hasn't really done anything since the start of Super to be mean. He does have an attitude problem, Beerus, but I don't know. It's just something that really crosses my mind. Is this possible? With that scene at the end with Frieza having his hand out, looking to give energy to Goku. I don't know. It feels really, really odd. It feels really, really bizarre to me. How Frieza, the ultimate heel, who was one of the biggest bad guys in Dragon Ball history, could be turning over a new leaf. Now, and the other reason why Frieza is doing this, guys, this is one of the reasons why I think he's doing it. So then that way he can get what he wants. And what he wants is life. Frieza wants to be brought back to life. Frieza still has that halo on his head. He's still technically dead. That was the reason why he joined the Tournament of Power. He joined the tournament because Goku promised him that he will use the Dragon Balls to wish Frieza back to life. Goku said he will do it as long as Frieza joins, and Frieza agreed. Now, there's been a couple occasions where Frieza has teased that he was going to turn on Goku, and he was going to betray the universe, and he was going to try and find a way to defeat Goku. But maybe Frieza has learned the ultimate trade when it comes to stuff. If you can't beat him, join him. Maybe Frieza has learned that trade, or maybe he hasn't, or maybe he's just doing this temporarily so he can get what he wants. He's now become true Golden Frieza, which his golden form has now been 100% maximized. It's now at its fullest potential. Like, there's no weakness in that form anymore. Now, as for the Ultra Instinct, I feel like that is why Frieza is reviving Goku. Trying to bring him... Well, I shouldn't say revive. I should say give him energy, just to help him get him up, or get him up and, try to, get him back into the game. I believe that is the reason why he's giving him energy. So then maybe Goku, when Goku has mastered to control this Ultra Instinct power and how to unlock it, Frieza will ask Goku to teach him how to do it. Now, it's not often for someone like Frieza to probably just go up to someone who he's hated all his life. Well, I shouldn't seriously say hated all of his life, because there are some people who haven't watched Dragon Ball Super, especially a good friend of mine, who's just recently got into it. And if I say something like that, he might think, oh, Frieza's hated Goku ever since Dragon Ball began. Well, Frieza was first shown in Dragon Ball Z. So I should say, Frieza's hated Goku since Dragon Ball Z. Since season 3 of Dragon Ball Z, since Goku defeated him there. So I'll just say season 3 of Dragon Ball Z. That is ever since when Goku has hated Frieza. Frieza's hated Goku, sorry. So, could it be possible that Frieza becomes a good guy and joins the Z Fighters? Now, like I said, this is a maybe. This is a maybe because I just find this really bizarre. I mean, seeing someone like Frieza help Goku, but Frieza in the tournament, he's been very, very clever in the entire tournament. There's been occasions where, the gods are scared of him. When the gods see when all the gods of the other universes see Frieza fight, they tremble, they get scared. Because in an episode 108, Frieza fought a guy from Universe 2, I believe, and he was beating the crap out of him. And all the gods, except for Beerus, were absolutely terrified of Frieza. They were terrified of this guy's power. They thought he should have been disqualified because of how dangerous he was. Frieza holds this guy in place and he starts doing death beams and he starts launching energy attacks, and Gohan thought Frieza killed him. And they were thinking, and everyone thought, Frieza killed this guy, he should be disqualified. But then Frieza stated, I didn't kill him. I pretended I actually missed him on purpose so I wouldn't kill him. So, Frieza wasn't damaged the guy, but he didn't damage him to the point where he would kill the guy. That's basically basically what Frieza said there. And when Frieza, and also Frieza teased to turn again on Universe 7 in that same episode where he joined forces with Universe 6 Frost. But then Frieza, after knocking out Gohan, he decides to turn around and turn on Frost. Frost goes out of the ring. He's out of the tournament. And then Gohan states that Frieza wasn't fighting seriously. He wasn't being serious. And Frieza was like, "That's right. I wasn't serious. It's a good thing that Gohan caught on to my plan. Otherwise, I would have killed you." So Gohan kind of knew Frieza was playing up there. Well, he wasn't really playing up. He was playing Frost to tricking Frost. So Frieza has shown that he has the smartness. He's smart. Now, something like Frieza, but Frieza, as much of a bad guy he was, he acted such like a normal person in that episode. When he came to Gohan's aid, he said, he was saying like, "Gohan, you really should have used your full power from the start. If you turned Super Saiyan, you would have beaten this guy." And once and that's what he said when he first helped Gohan, and at the end, he actually said Gohan's name. He said, "Son Gohan, let's work together and do our best and for our universe to win." For Frieza to utter those words, it's making me wonder, is Frieza really changing? Is Frieza learning the error of his ways? Or is he just doing this so that he can get what he wants? Become a god of destruction? Get in Beerus's place? Or just become a god of destruction in another universe? Because I feel like if Frieza was brought back to life, if Goku went through with his promise and brought Goku back to life, if Goku went through his promise and brought Frieza back to life, do you really think Goku could trust Frieza in Universe 7 at all? Living in Universe 7? Do you think that he could trust Frieza living on Earth and not trying to do anything silly? That's kind of hard to think. And Frieza living on Earth kind of feels a bit awkward. Where will he go? Will he just live in outer space somewhere? I mean, it just feels weird. It would just feel weird to see Frieza do stuff like this. Even though Frieza wants to be brought back to life, maybe Goku and everybody else says, you know what? Maybe at the end of the Tournament of Power, Goku says, you know what, guys? Frieza was helpful. He saved me. He helped. It was thanks to him that I was able to defeat Jiren the Grey. So his reward should be him being brought back to life. But then Goku probably makes another promise to Frieza saying, I will only bring you back to life as long as you promise not to go rogue and do anything crazy. And then maybe Frieza will say, yeah, sure, sure, Son Goku, I'll do that for you. And then he'll give him what he wants. And then maybe Frieza becomes an anti-hero. That's where I think Frieza will stand. He will be an ally to Goku and his friends, but he won't technically be a Z fighter. He'll probably just be like an ally. Like he'll occasionally come around and maybe help the gang if they're in a sticky situation. Because Frieza is incredibly strong. Frieza's incredibly strong. As strong as Frieza is, with him around, they could have a lot of problems being solved. They could have a lot of problems solved if they kept Frieza around. But in the end, I think it is possible that we might be seeing Frieza become a good guy. So anyway, guys, that is the end of this discussion. I hope you all enjoyed. Comment down below on what you think of Frieza's potential change into a good guy, and what are your thoughts. Make sure you hit that like button. Comment down below if you want to join in this discussion as well, and also hit that thumbs up, and also hit that subscribe button, because it will really help me out, and I will definitely need more subscribers. So anyway, guys, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all next time.